The demissimis, the demissimis percept, what the f? The demissimis centennial. All right, let's read this. A Bob hack. So, I added a little flair to it though. What I got here is a old Sony speaker bar. And they're not cheap, but I found it with the radio for 20 bucks on eBay. And I said, this is a good idea. I'll join the two together, and then you've got a nice portable unit. So I checked these up on eBay, and they're going anywhere from 50 to 100 bucks. And I got both units for 20 bucks, so I snatched it right away. I doubt I'll be doing any more of these, but there might be something that's a powered speaker, small like this, somewhere else in another brand. I don't know what, I haven't searched yet, but pretty cool idea. It even has a little kickstand in the back. If I can get it out, little kickstand, and you can set it up. So it will work without turning on the power to the speaker, but it's very low. So let's check it out. It's already been hacked. I don't know whether to try AM or FM in this shithole. Let's try the AM bit. No, AM's gonna sound nasty. That's gonna sound bad. We'll go with the FM. We probably won't get anything. Maybe a little something, huh? Sounds like a jet taking off, whistling. But outdoors it works wonderful, man. The stations come in nice and clear. Just like you hear out of Bob's radio. Sounds nice. So we're not going to get nothing out of here, so we're going to turn back on Echo Box or Matrix or something, and we're going to go over this. I can't say it. Centennial. Mount Albion's 175th anniversary. So let's shut this down. See, that's with it off. You can still hear it. So if your batteries die, you're not totally out. Hey, I just got somebody. Who just spoke to me? Breaker 19. Alright, let's shut it down. Yeah, I'm in a mood today. Alright, let's get to the article. I'll set up. Okay. Let's get to it. Who do we have with me today? I heard I'm here. Who's the whisperer? So you guys have seen the Mount Albion Cemetery. I've done a drive-through. I've done a couple sessions in there. There's a couple videos out there on it. Well, apparently, I'm going to try to say this one more time. Apparently, it is the Centennial. That's really close. Of Mount Albion's 175th anniversary. So I'm going to read this article. Not that it matters to any of you who don't live here, but, you know, it's history and it's attached to the spirits that are here. So that's how I get my responses. And that's how I build a rapport with them. So I'm going to continue to do things like this. I'm also going to try and get out there a little more and do other things, you know, other on-the-spot locations that don't pertain to the shop. I mean, the spirits that are here follow me. They follow me everywhere, so they come through a lot. So you'll hear their names frequently, if not always. But they do tend to, I've noticed that they do give me my space when I'm out and about and doing things. I'll know they're there, whether from a psychic or they'll pop in and say hi or just let me know that they're there. But they don't interfere with my sessions or when we're out and about. And if I ask them to come through and help me out, they always do. So, man, you can't beat that, huh? You guys follow me around everywhere, don't you? Now, I've also noticed that when I'm driving, I'll catch a glimpse of somebody in my back seat out of the corner of my eye. And I can see like the full figure of a person sitting back there. And that's happened more than a few occasions. It wasn't just a one-time thing. Do you guys like to drive around with me? Now, a few people have seen Jasper and Lewis that are psychic. I've never seen them, only the outline, I think, and out of the corner of my eye. And I hear you guys are pretty damn handsome. Heard a yeah. So they like to show themselves in that time period of the 30s, and they have said that that was their most favorite time, the most memorable time in life. So it makes sense that you would come through in your 30s. You know, who wouldn't? I don't know how old they were when they passed. And it's really hot in here, so I want to get through this so I can put the fan on. It's really muggy again. Okay, let's turn it down just a hair here. We have met to provide a mansion for the dead. We have come out from our quiet homes in the bright sunlight, in the crowded streets, and all the garish show of life, to this secluded spot to set apart a last final resting place where the weary pilgrim may come and lay down his burden forever. Daniel R. Cady, Esquire, ESQ. Benjamin Franklin once said that there are but two certainties in life: death and taxes. For the pioneers of Albion, the question of a sacred final resting place plagued them from the earliest years of settlement. Small burial grounds existed within the village limits, but the harsh realities of life and death proved problematic for these noble citizens. It's hard to read it. My screen isn't the greatest. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Hold on.
Like to have mine.
What happened to the plus and minuses on keyboards? So you remember they used to have a little plus and minus where you could just zoom in on the page? Where is it on the page itself? It used to be in the little drop-down menu too, and I don't see that. On Chrome anyway. Here we go. I found it. That's better. So my old eyes need it at 130%. How are your eyes? You guys see well? I can see pretty good. It's really small detail that I can't see. And that's from like a 2-foot distance. Okay, it became apparent soon after the incorporation of the village that a cemetery in East State Street would be quickly overcome with the bodies of those who succumbed to the tribulations of the pioneer life. Discussions shifted to purchasing land outside of the municipal boundaries, which required an amendment to the village charter. Yet, after careful consideration, the proposition to amend the charter was replaced by a full redrafting of the document under the care and the attention of Arid Thomas and Lorenzo Burroughs. Now that big cemetery that I went to, on the other, on the street over from that cemetery, there was a small plot, and that's where they started Mount Albion Cemetery. That was the very first plot of land. And one day, I never knew it was there. It's kind of tucked back up on the side of a hill. So when you drive by it, you just don't notice it. I mean, you see it. If you drive by it and you look, you see it. But I must have driven down that road many times and never really noticed it. And probably 6 years ago, I was driving down that street with my girlfriend, and I slammed on the brakes and said, I want to go up there and look at the cemetery. I've just never stopped and looked at it. So this cemetery is literally, I don't know, maybe 100 yards from the main intersection of Route 31. So I stopped, I looked at it, looked at some of the plots, took a couple pictures, got in my car, drove from point A to point B, 100 yards to the stop sign. I sat there and I looked back and forth dumbfounded. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, look at where we are. She's like, what? I'm like, look at where we are. She looked up, she was, how did we get here? I said, I don't know. We were on Route 104, which was 3 miles down the road from the stop sign that I was at. And not many people believe me when I say that, but that was some kind of a time travel, time warp thing. I was totally confused as to how that happened. To sit there and look at the sign that says Route 104 when it was literally 100 yards away that I drove. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Happened to me. So, I'll never forget that experience. With no dedicated caretaker or supervisor, the work often fell upon the village president. Well, he was a president then, he wasn't a mayor, he was a president. The response to this problem was the appointment of Dr. Lemuel Payne, Lorenzo Burroughs, and Henry Sickles as the first 3 commissioners of the cemetery, while Daniel Hanley was hired as the first caretaker. I wonder if I go back there, if he's still the caretaker. If he's still the caretaker. Now, Spirit has told us that every cemetery has a caretaker. This is in the spirit world. And some bigger cemeteries have more than one. Who is the caretaker of the Mount Albion Cemetery in the spirit world? Okay, according to research, for services was established. Digging a grave and attendance of burial service for a child under 12 was $1. Without a box, it was $1.50 with a box. Digging a grave and attendance of burial services for a person over 12 was $1.50 without a box, $2 with a box. Depositing of remains in a vault, 50 cents, with burial in Mount Albion, $1 with burial in another cemetery. Improving and ornamenting lots owned by individuals was $1 per day. $1 to get buried. What are we up to now? 5, 10,000? The history of Mount Albion is a lengthy one and far too long to contain within the confines of one article. However, we fast forward to 1912 when this image was taken. At the center is the cemetery's main entryway, surrounded by trees and beautiful flowers carefully arranged throughout the landscape. The small fountain is representative of other small fountains situated throughout the grounds. They must have removed them because I don't know of any other fountains on the grounds there. There's a pond, but there's no fountain in it. So what happened to all those fountains? In 1914, Emma Ingersoll provided for the installation of the large fountain constructed by William Carnes of Albion. The following year, Ingersoll's will provide for a granite bench that was installed at a cost of $500. In keeping with the tradition, the county historian will host tours of the Mount Albion Cemetery starting August 5th at 6 p.m. Maybe I'll go on one of those and see if I can film. We'll see if we can catch some EVPs or something. That might be cool. So August, that would be this weekend. So August 5th, 12th, 19th, to 26th. I'll try and get out to one of those dates and take a cam with me, get a little history, and maybe take an EVP recorder with me, see what happens. So that's that. So celebrating the 175th anniversary of our cemetery. Would you guys like to come along with me on a tour of the stuff? For sure. Well, that's what we'll do, damn it. All right, so that's the article. Little chat. New radio. Kind of cool, huh? Easy to carry. That's the Bob hat. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you guys for coming through.